Alright, what's going on guys, and welcome back to the second video on the RoMBL channel. This video is going to be Game of the Week, and I am joined by my co-host today, Dr. O'Coffee, and we're going to be
Hi,
over...
it's me, Oh Coffee, and you just talked over me. I hate you.
I
Yeah,
wasn't done
we're.
talking. This is
I
going to be a
don't
mess.
care. I own you.
This is going
Um,
to be zero edited video, so this should be high quality content for you guys.
yes. Okay, so yeah, it's against It's for Cossack versus Southside Braves for the game of the week. Cossack was number one team, or well, we thought so, and Braves has a very solid team himself. So
Um,
it's a very interesting match.
yeah, we have Arceus flying.
Flying
Yeah,
ground.
Arceus.
No, it's
No, Arceus
ground.
ground. Arceus ground. Rayquaza, Cinderace, Ditto, Uxie,
Ooh.
and Shedinja against the terrifying core of Xerneas, Necrozma, and Garchomp, then backed up by Seismitoad, the Tornadus and Serena. This is overall solid matchup. We have watched this matchup already, but we'll be reacting to it as if we haven't for your guys' viewing pleasure, of course.
Yeah.
And with that, we will be pausing this. Sorry, just to talk about plays and why we think they were smart and stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Um, First off, this is a very interesting lead. You have Ditto v Garchomp. This means he knows the entire Garchomp set, which could be really helpful because he can find out if it's a defensive or a supportive set. It'll be interesting to see whether he stays in and clicks something like Scale Shot on the Garchomp if it's a Scale Shot set, something to really pressure that Garchomp out. Let's see
Yeah,
what
I
they
think
do.
it's a really good lead because the immediate leads I see are Seismitoad, Garchomp, Necrozma, maybe Xerneas. Those are the leads I kind of see, and Ditto works well for each of them. Because if they lead Seismitoad, you get rocks up as well, which kind of pressures Tornadus T. Garchomp obviously he might be able to get off a pretty clean scale shot if it stays in, or go for whatever move it has. Maybe a ground move to try to deal with
Yeah,
Necrozma if it's not weakness policy. It's probably weakness policy, but
yeah,
if it's powerful enough.
Braves this matchup didn't really have anything that wanted to switch into a scale shot if he was choosing to run a scale shot set, so let's see what they make as a play. Now this is what we
Which
expected.
was pretty obvious.
The switch out. I don't actually
So,
know what he was predicting to come in, clicking the Iron Head, probably the
uh,
Xerneas.
Xerneas, yeah, because, I mean, it makes sense if you expected a scale shot, you'd send in Xerneas. But knowing his own Garchomp set, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah. This also probably gives him Cossack great insight as to what type of Ditto he is, because who knows, he might have not been running Scar Ditto, so it makes it interesting. The Seismitoad
Yeah.
probably now has a free chance that Stealth Rock, because Ditto doesn't want to take any unnecessary chip, and it's the only hazard removal this team has this week is Arceus Defog, if he chooses to run that, or Cinderace Court Change. So two things that don't
Quasar
want to come in.
Defog for the win!
Yes, but all of those don't want to switch in and take rock damage, meaning they're forced
Yeah,
to run
no.
boots. He switches out into Arceus Ground. I keep thinking this is
Okay,
Arceus Flying. We've watched so many matches.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
I
a
mean,
decent switch in. I was a bit confused by it because if he had chose to click something like School, this Arceus would have taken a huge amount of chip.
I just look at this thing and I see. I bet that Cinderace isn't. I look at this and all their defoggers don't want to take a hit from Seismitoad, like,
Yeah, this
which
team
is
doesn't
kind
really
of
want
rough in
to.
this matchup. And then Shed Ninja can't come in unless you're running heavy duty boot Shed Ninja. You can't put that in with rocks. And Rayquaza has to run heavy duty boots or it takes like 25%. So
Yeah, not fun times.
hazards are not fun for this team.
Um, then this switches out into Tornado Therian, which I guess was smart, expecting the Earth Power play. But this is where somebody in the chat. I think it's just about to say, not doesn't hasn't been said yet. But somebody noticed that he's running Earth Power over Judgment. This was
Judgment.
the coach did notice this, and it was a mistake, but they just kept playing throughout, which is kind of sad because this could affect the role wise in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I bet. Yeah, I mean, it's just a common slip up. Putting you see Earth Power and then you see a normal move. You're like, oh yeah, that one's ground, that one's normal.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah, definitely an easy slip up. It's just these extra points missing out on won't be fun in the long run because 10 extra damage point in the long run is a huge amount of damage.
if Arceus switches out, to be honest, because if I was in the situation, I'd stay in and fire off another Earth Power.
Or
Because
something like Ice Beam because Arceus gets a lot of coverage, so Ice Beam is definitely
yeah,
something it
but
could do.
I mean, it's probably you turning out. That's just what I see.
Yeah, then you can
But
get the easy read. But what really wants to switch in on the Tornado? Really, Arceus is his best thing for the Tornadoes.
true. Okay, let's see.
He goes for
Okay,
knockoff,
the
which was
it was
what goes for Ice Beam, like I called. Now this was a
so they did predict a switch going for the knockoff. That was a switch predict.
it was either a switch predict or a really stupid play because Arceus can't be knocked off.
It has to be a switch predict.
Or
Yeah,
just a misplay.
I still, yeah,
Like without
maybe like,
Kosak here, we don't really know.
yeah, probably a switch predict though. I would have just U-turned out there. I think that would have been a safe play. U-turn into Toad, maybe. I don't know.
This also gives us insight into the set because this is a probably speed crept Tornadoes to be able to outspeed Arceus ground, going
Yeah,
speed point tier wise. But this gives us a lot of information. Ice Beam doing a lot tells us that it's probably a very heavily special attack invested set to kill things like Necrozma, Serena, just be an all round nuisance as an Arceus.
Garchomp. Yeah. Okay, then he U-turns. Oh yeah, into Seismitoad. Yeah.
And
Sludge
Sludge
Bomb.
Bomb comes out. Sludge Bomb probably
Does
for
Arceus
Xerneas.
get does does Arceus get Grass Knot?
It might do.
Do you
Let's
know?
check right now. Oh god, I've just closed out of that. Wrong thing.
You should be able to.
Yeah, just go back.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, and this isn't going to be edited.
Yeah. Haha, funny, yes.
I'm revealing secret. RC. Grass.
It's about to get Grass
Yeah, it's
Knot.
got grass. It gets
Yeah.
grass knot, so who
It
knows?
also
It could
gets
be running
Energy
grass
Ball.
knot.
So
Go to turn. We're on turn. This turn. All right. We're
this
on
turn.
turn 6.
So I'm expecting Energy Ball or Grass.
Eel sound.
Uh,
Am I right?
yeah. So it doesn't have a grass move.
Yeah, and
Okay.
school does an alright amount. It tells us that this is not an offensive Seismitoad. We probably guessed that by the rocks, but who knows? You can run an offensive Seismitoad, and that would have been helpful in the matchup, but I don't think it would have been. I don't think Seismitoad has the sheer capability to put out enough damage to stop Arceus from being able to click recover at any point in time.
So we're gonna probably recover here if not a switch out.
And
oh wait, yeah, that was in kill
Arceus-
range. Never mind.
Arceus picks up the kill, and the coach Braves points out his error with the move. Duskmane comes in. Now this is a very interesting switch-in.
I immediately see Kosek definitely calced for a judgment to not do over probably 50%, and is just trying to kill this thing and get a weakness policy off.
From experience
would
using
say.
Necrozma and CBDL, it would have to be behind light screen to live an Arceus judgment, I reckon. Like, do less than 50%. Like, from an offensive set. If it was no investment, then it could probably live it because of prison armor. But it will take, this should take a huge amount of damage. This is probably I see this coming in because it's maybe weak policy because there's no sane person sends in a Arceus against uh Necrozma against an Arceus. So
unless it is weakness policy.
yeah,
So
the
yes,
weakness
took
policy
a
goes off.
good amount.
So that
And
oh
tech trick room. Pause. Uh, so big Ditto counter. Scarf Ditto. It's in trick room. That's what I assume it was mostly for.
yeah,
I mean,
this is tech that I have never even thought about bringing, which I wish I had because CBDL week 2, I thought Ditto, and this tech would have been huge if I had thought of it. Like honestly,
yeah,
kudos to
because
Kosak.
as I've been prepping for Kosak, I've noticed his team is relatively slow. It's like pretty much if you have a base 100 Pokemon, you can kind of outspeed a lot. And Braves kind of has a lot of that. And Scarf Ditto, that's definitely a Ditto counter. Just throw up a Trick Room. If it's Scarf Ditto, you're screwed.
Yeah, because Ditto doesn't have the HP to live a Earth power coming out of Necrozma. I know this from calcs previously. So this Ditto doesn't take it, especially after rock damage. We also, I think, and from this turn, we. Oh, I didn't mean to pause that. From this turn, we found out the Rayquaza wasn't Boots, and it just died to Photon Geyser. At this point, it's basically pick a sack because nothing wants to switch in. Shedinja comes in, but honestly, I don't
It's
think.
heavy duty boot Shid Ninja, so it just dies if as long as Necrozma has some way to deal with Shid Ninja.
I don't
Shid
think
Ninja will just
Shadow
die.
Snake does enough damage. Sucker Punch might do if he's running Sucker Punch, but I couldn't guarantee it.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
reckon if he was running
Shadow
Sucker
Sneak doesn't
Punch,
kill
that
him, knocks off
probably would have
moves.
killed. Maybe not, because it wasn't stab. It'll be close. Might have been down to a roll, depending on investment
Probably
on the
would have been a
Necrozma.
roll. Yeah.
Then Ditto comes in. Now sacking off Ditto. Here is probably like one of the not as wiser moves made by Braves
I would have.
because Ditto was essential. Or like he could have waited for Trick Room to come out. Ditto comes in and this Necrozma's dead,
Yeah, I
and then
would
you
have.
can use the Necrozma to reverse sweep his entire team.
I would have gone into Yuxi, which I assume could probably live 2 knockoffs. I don't know, investment. And then hard switch into Ditto. Like maybe let Yuxi die there. Then hard switch into Ditto while the Trick Room's gone and just try to sweep through with that.
Yeah, I
Because if it's
reckon.
Scarf Ditto, it probably can deal with Garchomp.
Yeah, it should be able to go. Don't reckon Garchomp would have lived a Photon Geyser, and um, Photon Geyser probably would have killed Xerneas depending on the set and the investment, and then nothing
Well,
else would
also
have eaten
Steel.
anything else.
Yeah,
Steel type being the
definitely.
resist in that situation. I don't know Xerneas' move pool too well, so I can't make accurate calls on what
I mean,
Xerneas would have
Xerneas does
clicked in
get
that
close.
situation.
Yeah, Xerneas. Most Xerneas can do is go neutral.
Mm. Yuxi finally comes in, but Rokov kills it, telling
Okay,
us it
so
wasn't a defensive set.
yeah, so it wasn't defensive, it was choice banded. So my play there would have been a bad play
Yeah.
because it would have just died. You'd have to pick another sack, which wouldn't have been great.
Yeah, but I definitely think keeping Ditto alive was their best play here. Like, just
Ditto was
give up,
pretty key.
give up to, was it 4 months? 4 months to Trick Room, and then you have your Ditto, which could easily reverse sweep. Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah,
have speed. Eat? Actually, no, you probably would have died to Garchomp because you won't have enough speed investment. Even if you scarfed, Garchomp probably would have outsped you.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Garchomp kind of was like the supporting anything, almost just stopping that reverse sweep.
Yeah.
Still would have killed an extra Mon though. Like
Yeah, I reckon the
it would
two
have been
things
able
to
to
keep
take down that.
two things to keep alive would have been Arceus and Ditto, in my opinion.
Because you probably could have gone Ditto, killed that, maybe depending on investment, have to sack or switch in Arceus to be able to take out a Garchomp.
Yeah.
That could have done wonders. But I
Arceus
assume
comes in here
Cinderace. Oh,
as expected. He goes into the Serena. He clicks Ice Beam,
Ice
calling a
Beam.
switch into Taunty probably. This power whip miss is super
Ooh,
unfortunate
Power Whip Miss is just basically,
because
yeah,
that's probably
Power Whip
calc to
Miss.
kill at that range easily.
There's
Coming
no
out of
way
Serena.
Power Whip wouldn't kill there. So,
So,
yeah, basically, a Mon died because of a miss, which is a rip. But,
but not much you can do in that situation. It's the game we play, and we choose to play
yeah,
it even
Pokemon
with the hacks.
hacks.
And we have
But,
Taunty that comes
20
in.
comes in.
Arceus eats this.
Doesn't die from Ice Beam.
Then he probably
Yeah.
clicks U-turn here, but with the investment that we've seen,
Ooh,
we knew
lives
it
at
wasn't going to die.
2%. So it has to sack. And then the 1% live. Of course it didn't matter, but
And then
kind of
Taunty
just had.
comes in and clicks U-turn again. I don't understand the switch out. I guess it was
I
pointless
would have
anyway.
just sacked Arceus.
Yeah, it's just kind of wasting a time and taking unnecessary chip on Cinderace.
Okay, so they Mega Evolve, losing a lot of their speed.
And then
Or
that dies to
yeah,
rocks.
yeah. See, the Switch didn't do much because the rocks. But
Overall, definitely a good match. Both sides played super well. It probably would
yes,
have been a lot closer if he had judgment over Earth Power, because there would have been more chip on the Seismitoad, killing that quicker. Then the Crosby would have taken a lot more, meaning Shadow Sneak probably had a higher chance to kill.
yeah,
It definitely would have been in Sucker Punch range if he had clicked if he had judgment over um
yeah. I
Earth
mean, I
Power.
think it's the small little things of this match, like letting Ditto go down there, Judgment. Those like two switches, those two changes could have switched up the match entirely.
Yeah.
Which is, and then, yeah, I still think this is why I like you don't have to Mega first turn, because he was able to use it. Makes it so you're able to. There's some strategy behind it. He didn't Mega Evolve Garchomp immediately because he wanted some speed, and I like that. I kind of think that's a cool thing that you're able to do if it's not Force Mega.
Yeah, but it would have been a lot better as well, matchup wise, just purely because Arceus was probably speed, crept outspeed Garchomp, but not done to outspeed Torn because it couldn't,
Yeah,
which explains
unless
the
Torn was
bulk.
negative speed,
Negative speed
least amount
Torn.
of speed. Yes,
But
base.
overall,
Yeah.
great matchup, and congratulations
Definitely
to
great.
Kosak for the win.
I still think it has also best tech shown.
Best tech, Trick Room, Necrozma, huge brain, nobody expects it.
I had a different best tech in mind, but after I saw this, I changed my mind. I definitely did have another after I saw certain matches. I was like, oh yeah, okay, this one's definitely it. And then I saw Trick Room Necrozma like yesterday, and I
Yeah.
said, wow, it's so like it's on the move pool every time you see it, but you're like, why would you set it up for yourself and single? But it worked well against a Ditto counter.
What
I
really
gotta
threw me
say,
off
great match.
was Xerneas never came in that match.
Yeah, Xerneas was quite a threat. I don't see a steel type that can